Hi guys, Jason Whistler here with Ninja Success. And so I've been sitting here for a few minutes now, trying to organize my thought a little bit. I generally, I look throughout my day and try to watch for things as they come up, things that inspire me, things that I want to share, and will frequently spend a minute or two and just sort of organize my thoughts before I start talking or sharing. Today it's a little bit more of a challenge for me, exactly how I want to take it or where I want to go with it. So if I had to give it a title at all, and I do, because any good video, any good tip needs some sort of a title to help focus the message. It's going to be that's, and I don't honestly remember if it comes from Greek or Latin, but the translation is "know thyself." Right? So I'll give you some background here. I've been yesterday, today, last few days, I think maybe just the last 2 days, been in a philosophical discussion with some alternative healing practitioners, students like myself. And the discussion started around, it actually started around the Beethoven quote a little bit, in that in the full quote, he mentions the divine. And so a lot of people in the alternative healing, there's this focus now on the divine feminine, which is fantastic. I'm all for that. I think for far too long, our society has suppressed women, right? But I want to be clear and say that feminine, this archetype of gender, feminine, masculine, one, in our society, I think it's pretty well broken for both parties. Two, we're way out of balance, where for far too long the males dominated and suppressed the women. So now what we're going to see in society is this switching of roles. It's actually going to flip directions. While it needs to happen, everybody knows that pendulums, they swing from one side to the other and eventually get closer and closer and closer to balance. Now, we've been over here for way too long, so we're probably going to overshoot. And we're going to see suppression in a different direction and a whole new set of consequences. And eventually we're going to have to swing, and hopefully we find the middle sooner than later. Hopefully we don't have to swing too much. And that's where this conversation of the archetypes, the divine feminine, divine masculine, came in, and this philosophical discussion, where a lot of people now say that, in order to fix the world, we really need to focus on and learn and work with the divine feminine. That's like across the board rule. Now, that's good. We all need to experience the feminine. We all need to experience it, some more than others. Some of us, and see, this is where we're going to lose track for a minute. I'm going to bring us back around, but the challenge is that every one of us, men and women, have all aspects. Okay? We have feminine and masculine traits. We have things that we would label that way within us. And in any given situation or any given moment, some traits rise to the surface and other traits fall away. This is completely normal. And in any given person, the balance or the mix of different traits is different. Everybody knows the girly girls and the manly men, and the manly girls and the girly men, and so different people, they're all over the map with a mix, right? So to say that we should all focus on one aspect and just, this is the best way because we've been doing it wrong for so long this other way, it has there is within it the opportunity to kind of try to force a new round peg into a new square hole. We definitely do need to focus more on these other aspects of ourselves. We definitely need to focus more on the divine, the healed states within ourselves, the empowering states. I'd like to encourage you, men and women both, to start with those dominant traits within you. So my female friends, I would encourage, absolutely spend some time, do some self-exploration, do some exploration through healing work, get together with other women, really explore what it means to be in a divine, holy, healed, feminine state, and be able to hold yourself in that way, that you are amazing and powerful and empowered in a balanced way, in a very it's a productive way. It's a creative. It benefits. It's beneficial for everyone. Right? There doesn't have to be a well, if I'm not being oppressed, then I'm gonna oppress you because you were oppressing me, and now I'm the powerful one. So therefore, only one of us can be on top. No. In a well-working society, in a well-working relationship, whether it doesn't matter the gender role at all. In a really good working relationship, there are two independent parties, this one, and they're both standing together, and they're both working towards something. All right? In slightly more skewed or broken relationships, one person is leaning on the other one. You get codependent, or you get dependence, right? Or one person is in charge or dominant because, well, the other person is relying on them. And then in fully broken relationships, that's I challenge you, take your palms, put them against the palms of somebody else, and start backing away with your feet, but keep your palms together. Until you get to a point where there's no way the two of you stay upright without both of you staying right there where you're at. Now you're stuck, and now you're codependent. You're both dependent. And this makes for lots of tension in relationships and makes things difficult. You have to find a way to come together and become whole and be able to support yourself and work together. So when I say about know thyself, and I'm going to bring it back around to where I said that I think the core, the gist of where I want to go with this today is when you're working on developing those aspects of yourself, whether you're healing your internal and personal aspects. If you're a guy and you're just overly aggressive and dominant and destructive in your world, or whatever's going on for you, then I recommend exploring the divine masculine. Look at those traits and look at what it means to be able to be male and be confident and be so comfortable with your own self and your own skin that there's no requirement, there's no need to suppress or dominate or conquer or anything else. Those are usually fear-based traits and weak, they're compensatory actions. Okay? And the same with the women. What does it mean to be that creator of life, that nurturer, that is source of beauty? I mean, what does it mean for you? Explore that. Explore those traits in yourself. But at some point, you may also explore some masculine traits. Maybe have a competitive streak and a need to win and dominate. And that's okay. Look at what that is in a whole and a healed state. That's an aspect of you, and that'll come and go, and that'll just become part of the thing that makes you unique and makes you as an individual very, very powerful. But let's not assume that just because we're broken in one direction that everything needs now to be over here, and so let's just all focus over here, because I think we'll end up just in a wholly unique broken state. And the best way to find your greatest possible potential, to reach that for your own self, the highest level of success that you can reach in this lifetime, it has to be through who you are. I've got, it's up here somewhere. It's a book by Pema Chodron, okay? And it's a book on Buddhism, but also it's a self-development book, right? And it's start where you are. And the invite there is recognize where you're at, accept whatever those limitations are, whatever the strengths are, whatever the weaknesses are, explore that, and then build on that. Go from there. So for most men I know, I strongly recommend exploring, figuring out what the divine masculine means, what it means to be that healthy, whole, amazing male. And for the women, generally going to recommend go explore the divine feminine. What does that really mean? How does that manifest in the world? What does it look like? And then let's look at what does it look like when they're both working together? How could your relationships be? If you're married or whatever, I am, and when we're both working together perfectly, it's amazing. And when I need support, she can step right in and be that whole healed self and provide support for me. And when she needs support, I can step in and be that support for her. And so there's this constant give and take and this balance. And that's what I'd like to invite you to do, to explore a little bit. And that will unlock so many doors and so much potential within you. But it's definitely a long process, and it's an exploration. It's going to be a journey, and I hope you join me on it, and we can have long philosophical discussions about it. I'm happy. I'd love to do it. All right. So that's it for today. I wish you all the best, and remember, success ninjas never quit. And I'll see you tomorrow.